Hollywood has covered up so many different scandals, but the biggest one happening right now has to do with Diddy. Now, Diddy has finally been exposed for his crime ring and how he treated his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. But apparently all of this was just an open secret in Hollywood, which is honestly really messed up. Now, a lot of celebrities have been to Diddy's parties and engaged in who knows what while there. I mean, multiple celebs have spoken out against Diddy, saying that they don't go to Diddy parties and that you just have to tell the man no over and over, which is honestly just so sketchy, and it's just like, why didn't anyone put a stop to this sooner? Now, Kanye West knew all about this allegedly, and in a 2022 interview, he claimed that Diddy was actually working with law enforcement as an informant, and that's why he was able to get away with what he did. Is this credible? No, not really, not at all, but it is something to think about. Not to mention, Diddy is friends with some very powerful people like Jay-Z and Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, and the Kardashians. In 2023, Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit against Diddy that was promptly settled the next day. Then on February 26, 2024, music producer Rodney Jones filed a lawsuit against him as well. On March 25th of this year, Homeland Security investigations served search warrants in the early morning raids on Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami. Diddy was then arrested last week after being accused of criminal activity going back to at least 2008. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges and wanted to be released on bail, but a judge denied his request. We'll now just have to wait and see what happens, but it appears everyone who was a part of this or helped cover it up will be exposed. Oscar-winning director Roman Polanski was expelled from the Academy in 2018, as the expulsion came more than 40 years after a horrendous legal incident. In 1977, he was convicted of a serious crime, but he fled the United States before being jailed. Now, since he fled the country before sentencing, legally he still has to answer for all charges. But due to this, he can never come back to the United States, because if he ever does, he will be arrested. Now, one of the big problems is that numerous big shots in the movie industry have already written countless petitions asking to pardon Roman, which is honestly disgusting. Now, more than 100 people in the film industry, including Woody Allen, Martin Scorsese, David Lynch, Wes Anderson, Harrison Ford, among many others, signed a petition in 2009 calling for his release. Now, on October 30th, 2015, a Polish judge denied a request by the United States to extradite Roman, so it appears he'll never face the justice his victims deserve. Now, Woody Allen and Mia Farrow began dating in 1980 and were together for 12 years until their split. Now, during that time, the couple adopted 2 children, Dylan and Moses Farrow, and had 1 biological child, Ronan Farrow. Now, Mia and Woody split in 1992, shortly before Woodley publicly revealed that he was dating Suni Previn, Mia's 21-year-old daughter she had adopted with her ex-husband, Andre Previn. Woody began dating his technical stepdaughter. Now, Mia reportedly learned of this relationship early in 1992 when she discovered some photographs of Soon-Yi in Woody's apartment. Now, the two started dating when she was 21 years old, and they married 6 years later when Soon-Yi was 27 and Woody was 62. Now, when asked about his affair, Woody responded by saying, "The heart wants what it wants, there's no logic to those things. You meet someone and you fall in love, and that's that." Ronan Farrow said it best when describing his family dynamic: "He's my father married to my sister, that makes me his son and his brother-in-law." Now, this is all just so crazy because it seems like no one really cares about this, which is just insane. The situation is just so icky, not to mention Woody has been accused of committing some other crimes too, but people still continue to be in his movies and support him. Alfred Hitchcock was an interesting man to say the least, but what people didn't really know was that there was a dark side to him. Now, his first of many recorded instances of actor mistreatment occurred on the set of his film The 39 Steps. He would announce lead actress Madeleine Carroll's presence on set by yelling, "Bring on the Birmingham tart," and would leave her handcuffed to her co-star for hours on end, claiming to have lost the key. Now, he took pleasure in agitating his actresses with crude sexual jokes, and even going as far as making up a story about sleeping with Ingrid Bergman and having actress Janet Leigh filmed in the shower for a 6-day shooting period for Psycho. But by far the worst was his his treatment of lead Tippi Hedren while shooting the birds. Now Hitchcock became infatuated with her, and after she refused some of his advances, he had live birds attached to her instead of mechanical ones for the shooting of a scene, which ultimately required her to be hospitalized. Later, Hitchcock's demands led to a horrible fight, according to Tippi. She then told him Marnie would be their last film together, and later recalled how Hitchcock told her he would destroy her career. He said, "I'll ruin your career," and he did ruin my career. He kept me under contract and paid me to do nothing for close to 2 years. Now Tippi said this essentially ruined her career as a leading lady, and it's such a shame. Now everyone knows about Britney Spears' meltdowns in 2006 and 2007. Now amidst her split from Kevin Federline, she shaved her head and was swarmed by paparazzi at a gas station, and in retaliation she smashed a photographer's car with an infamous green umbrella. Now later, at the beginning of 2008, she was put on a 5150 hold in the hospital. A week after this, she was sent back to the hospital on a 5150 hold, and her father Jamie was granted temporary conservatorship over the star. Now in July that year, he requested for it to be extended, which it was. 2 years before the temporary court-ordered conservatorship was supposed to see its end, a judge then ruled that Jamie would retain control over his daughter for an indefinite period. Speaking of this period of time in her memoir, Britney said, "Even though I begged the court to appoint literally anyone else, and I mean anyone off the street would have been better, my father was given the job. And the court told me I was demented, and I wasn't even allowed to pick my own lawyer." Soon after the conservatorship was in place, she said her father said, "I just want to let you know, I call the shots, you sit right there in the chair and I'll tell you what goes on," she recalled. "I looked at him with a growing sense of horror. I'm Britney Spears now," he said. Britney also spoke out about that 13-year conservatorship as she hit out on her dad Jamie in the explosive memoir, as she opened up about the unrelenting control her family had over her, which, looking back, makes her feel sick. Now people in Hollywood knew about this but didn't do anything. Finally, in 2019, fans started to realize that something was wrong, and they created the Free Britney movement. With fans backing Britney up, she felt like she finally had a voice and requested the conservatorship to end. Now she and her father appeared in court multiple times over the year, and on November 12, 2021, the conservatorship was officially over. Now so many people knew what was going on and directly profited off the whole situation though, which is just gross. And finally, a lot of people know that Judy Garland was treated poorly in the industry, but not that many people know the extent of it. She signed with MGM when she was just a teen, and she appeared on screen in the 1936's Pigskin Parade, a musical comedy about college football coaches. At that point, MGM execs were already bugging her about her weight. They told her she looked like a fat little pig with pigtails and placed her on a forced diet, something that would continue on in her career. The studio restricted her calories so heavily that she unfortunately fell into cycles of starving and binging. In 1938, an MGM exec told her that she was so fat she looked like a monster, and when she was 18, Louis Mayer himself allowed her to consume only black coffee and chicken soup, along with 80 cigarettes and diet pills every 4 hours to reduce her appetite. Now this kept the weight off, but anytime she stopped dieting, her weight would skyrocket. Studio managers would send memos on her daily eating, including notes like Garland gained 10 pounds, costumes refitted, and Judy sneaked out between takes 7 and 8 this afternoon and had a malted milk. Now, poor girl, as she was treated absolutely horrible by MGM. Well, that's all for our list of biggest celebrity scandals that were covered up by Hollywood. Now, which one on our list shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.